the god of death dethroned, guilds going to war over crystals charged with divine power, and one man erasing an entire civilization with a single forbidden spell, just to stop an invasion. All of this leads to the answer of one simple question: who are the Vaelwardens? Here's what ArenaNet has told us so far. They've dropped one new term, the Order of the Vael, without explaining it, and confirmed that the Vaelwardens are the guild that we'll be joining in Guild Wars 3. And that's it. So I went digging. I went through the wikis and I found a direct confirmation from Colin Johansson himself. And the deeper I went, the bigger this got. Let's cover the basics first. The Vaelwardens are the guild at the center of Guild Wars 3. ArenaNet describes them as a guild sworn to protect the land, the people who live beyond the walls of the towns and cities of Ore, and the nature spirits who call Ore home. They're not an army and they're not a political faction. They're protectors of the frontier. People who go beyond the safety of the city walls and stand between ordinary people and whatever else is out there. That framing matters because in Guild Wars 2 you're the commander, you're the slayer of elder dragons, and you're basically a demigod by the end. In Guild Wars 3 they're pulling it back. You're not saving the world from some cosmic destruction, you're protecting your little corner of it, your community, your spirits. It's much more grounded, and for a game that's called Guild Wars, it just feels right. So why Vaelwardens, and what does Vael even mean? Well, the answer is in the world itself, or in Guild Wars 3 as alive with what ArenaNet calls Vael spirits. These are nature entities that inhabit the land and embody the vitality of Ore's ecosystem. They're not monsters and they're not enemies, they're the living magic of Ore. The Vaelwardens exist to protect them alongside the people that share the land with them. Vael spirits, wardens of the Vael, guardians of the living magic of Ore. And here's where it gets interesting. Your mount, the Seeker, is one of these Vael spirits. Every player has their own Seeker, and it's not just a horse, it's your direct connection to the magic of Ore. Looking at the trailer, there's a consistent blue magical energy that appears when you're riding and when a character scales a cliff face. That's Vael energy. The Seeker isn't just how you get around, it's the source of your movement abilities. The gliding, the wall running, all of it flows from that bond. You and your Seeker are one system. Now here's the part that I find the most fascinating because the lore implications are enormous. Colin Johansson confirmed on Reddit that Guild Wars 3 begins shortly after Grenth becomes a god, before the Exodus and before the First Guild War. The game is set approximately 1,200 years before Guild Wars 1. That's a very specific and very loaded moment in Tyrian history, so let's sit with it. Grenth, who is the god of death, didn't start as a god. He was the son of Dwayna. Before him, the god of death was Dhuum. Dhuum, by all accounts, was brutal. He consumed the souls of the dead, hunted down anyone who had cheated death, and ruled the underworld as an absolute tyrant. Not a fan of resurrection, mercy, or much of anything really. And so Grenth challenged him, but he wasn't alone. He gathered 7 mortal heroes, and together they fought Dhuum and defeated him. But there was a catch. Grenth wasn't powerful enough to destroy Dhuum outright. He could only imprison him, so he sealed him behind enchanted doors and layers of divine magic in the Hall of Judgment. So Dhuum just sits there, not dead, but contained, waiting. Grenth then took his place amongst the 6 gods and rewarded his 7 companions by elevating them to immortality. They became the 7 Reapers, his avatars, each governing a region of the underworld. And one of the first things built in Grenth's honor was the Cathedral of Silence in Ore, the first temple of Grenth ever. It's entirely possible we walk past it in Guild Wars 3 while it's still standing whole. When Guild Wars 3 begins, all of this is fresh. Grenth is a new god, the 7 Reapers are newly immortal, and Dhuum is newly imprisoned but very much alive. The underworld is in transition, and the 6 gods are still present in Tyria. They haven't left yet. The Exodus hasn't happened yet. And so this is Tyria when the 6 gods still walk among the people, when Ara, the holy city of Ore, seat of the 6 gods, isn't a ruin crawling with undead, but a living capital. ArenaNet has already confirmed that Ara and the 6 gods will be central to what they're building, so this is a thread that's worth watching closely. And now for a bit of a funny side note. There's a character in Guild Wars 1, Eye of the North, named Vael, a mysterious assassin working with the Eben Vanguard. He describes himself as the eyes, the ears, and the shadow of Tyria. His real name isn't Vael, he says that plainly. The Eben Vanguard call him Nathaniel, but apparently that's not his name either. Is he connected to Guild Wars 3's Vael spirits? Almost certainly not as a literal character, since Guild Wars 3 is set to 1200 years before Guild Wars 1, but ArenaNet chose that name for the core nature spirits of all, and there's already a deeply enigmatic figure in the franchise who carries it. Whether that's intentional or not, it's hard to believe that it's entirely coincidental. And now for the part that really got under my skin. The tragedy of it. Guild Wars 3 is set to an ore that's alive. It's lush, it's intact. The Vael spirits are thriving, the cities are whole, and Ara stands as the seat of divine power. And anyone that's played through this franchise already knows that every bit of this gets destroyed. Here's what's coming historically. The 6 gods eventually leave. We call this event the Exodus. Without their presence, Tyria shifts. Centuries later, guilds start fighting over bloodstones. These are artifacts of immense divine power, and the conflict grows until it tears 3 nations apart. That's the Guild Wars, and that event is actually what the game is named after. Then the Char invasion of Ascalon, and finally a scholar named Vizier Kilbron uses a forbidden scroll to stop the Char, and the cost is everything. The magic kills every living soul in all, sinks the continent beneath the ocean, and raises them all as undead. The Vael spirits, the people the Vaelwardens gave everything to protect, the Cathedral of Silence, and Ara as a whole, it's all gone. And that's the world that you'll be playing in. The people you're protecting have no idea what's coming. And this isn't just good world building, it's tragedy that's written into the ground that you're walking on from the moment that you log in. Before continuing, I want to do a quick test. If you made it this far, then write "for great justice" in the comments below. Okay, let's get back to the video. There's a lot more that ArenaNet still hasn't shown us. The full setup of the 6 gods. What Ara might actually look like. What the Exodus means for the story arc. I'll be covering all of this as it comes because frankly, this is the most interested I've been in a Guild Wars story in a long time. If you're as interested in this as I am, then subscribe, because the 6 gods video is coming next and that one goes deep. And if you've got a theory about the Vaelwardens, the Vael spirits, or what Guild Wars 3's endgame might look like, given where the timeline ends up, I'd genuinely like to hear it. I'll see you in the next one.